All right, today we are going to be talking about a different type of annotation style. When we use this type of annotation style, usually we're trying to look at the structure of a text so that we can really analyze it and then learn how to be better writers. When I talk about right side, left side annotation, that's really what we're looking at here. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at our story here, and you should have this story in front of you. We're actually going to do the first portion of it together, and then the rest of it you're going to be required to do on your own. So when we read something like this, when we're analyzing a story through annotation, the goal is to be able to answer the following three questions. We want to know what the author is trying to tell us. We want to know what messages are trying to be conveyed. And we want to know how the author is communicating with their audience. So we want to know what the author is actually doing. So as you read the story, there are a couple of stages that you will go through. The first thing that you're going to do is a first draft read. And when we go through and we do a first draft read, really what we're trying to get is just your initial reaction. So yes, we're requiring you to start at the beginning of the passage and read all the way through until it's done. But really what we're looking for is that general reaction. As you're going through, we can do things like circle unknown words. So again, in this first draft read, we can circle unknown words. And we can underline text that seems important. Again, really, this is basic. And what we're looking for is your initial reaction. Okay? The second thing that we do when we read is then when we get into the annotation part of things. So then you're going to complete a second draft read. Okay? And on a second draft read, what we're going to do is we are going to focus on the left-hand side of the text. And the left-hand side of the text, what we're really looking for, and this is going to be for each paragraph, we want the topic of the paragraph. And this is really only like 1 to 2 words. It doesn't have to be a complete sentence. We also want the main idea of the paragraph, which is just a short phrase. So if we look at the very first paragraph, Vi is a young Vietnamese American college student and an all-American teenager, although her family maintains strong cultural bonds with Vietnam. So if I was looking at the topic for this, my topic for the first paragraph would just be Vi. Okay? And we could also look at the fact that she is a young Vietnamese American college student, and it talks about the fact that she's all American but has strong cultural bonds with Vietnam. Okay? So then maybe my main idea is that Vi has strong connections to both countries. So again, it doesn't have to be a complete sentence, but what we want are just some short, quick things. Okay? So that's the topic, or that's the left side. And really what the left side does, and when we talk about the left side, what we are looking at, this is what the author says. Okay, so if we were to combine all of the things that the author says, then that would be able to give us something along the lines of a summary. We could combine all of those things together. On the right side is what you'll take care of when you go back for a third draft read. So yes, when it comes to this type of annotation, we're asking you to read things 3 times. And when you look at the third draft, what we are looking for, we want to focus on what the author is doing. So we're focusing on the right. And it's what the author is doing. Okay, so for this, we're looking for things like the author is making a claim, the author is citing evidence, the author is quoting a newspaper or giving a personal story. So again, if we look at the beginning, Bai is a young Vietnamese American college student and an all-American teenager, although her family maintains strong cultural bonds with Vietnam. So what is the author doing? Well, we can, first of all, this is an introduction. So that's clearly what the author is doing. The author is also providing background information. Okay? The author is also hooking the audience. So by saying that she's an all-American teenager but also has strong cultural bonds with Vietnam, the author is hoping that you will relate with the fact that she's an all-American teenager, or that you'll understand what it means to be an all-American teenager. Okay? So when I ask you to do a left side, right side annotation, you're going to repeat this process. Only you're going to start at the beginning of a piece and you're going to go all the way through to the end at each step. So your first draft read, you read the whole thing. The second draft read, you read the whole thing and you focus paragraph by paragraph on the left-hand side and what the author says. Then you read the whole thing a third time and paragraph by paragraph, you focus on the right side and what the author is doing. When this is finished, we're really able to go ahead and analyze the story. So if I look at this, okay, I can start a chart of what the author says and does so I don't have to worry about so many messy scribbles all over my paper. Okay, when we did this, we looked at what the author says. So at the very beginning of our first paragraph, our author's main idea was Vi and that she had a strong connection to both countries. Okay, so what I will have here is I will have my says and does divided by paragraph. So this is what we call charting. And again, when we chart, all we're doing is we're taking our annotations from the first and transferring it to something that's a little less messy. So in paragraph 1, again, these will each be for individual paragraphs. For paragraph 1, we decided it was Vi and she had strong connections to both countries. So I'll have my topic and my main idea. Again, it was Vi and strong connections to both countries. Okay, then I can go over to what my author does. And when I did that, I took a look and there was background information, there was an introduction, and there was a hook for the audience. Okay, so I can just bullet point these. There's an introduction, there's a hook for the audience, and there's background. Okay, and again, as you are going through, you would complete all steps on your annotation. So you would go start to finish, each paragraph one at a time, right side, left side, or left side, right side. And then you would transfer those notes. So this is, again, this is what we call annotation or marking. And then this is the charting part. So we just take it and chart it. And then once we're here, we can actually analyze a story. So I can build each of the main ideas. So if I add this main idea to this main idea to this main idea, I can actually build a summary. And when I look at what the author is doing, their introduction, their hooks, their background information, maybe they use a quote, maybe they cite research, I can really analyze craft. How the author is writing, the purpose for the author's writing, and in the end, by the time that I'm finished, I really should be able to analyze the type of author that I've got. I should know what the author is trying to tell me, what messages are trying to be conveyed, and how the author is communicating with their audience. Thank you very much for listening.